All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose.
Our ultimate goal is to save Earth and the future of humanity.
For now, we should focus on fighting the Alpha.
Dave, please help us.
They're still waiting for the salvation Mother Sphere promised them.
Eve! No!
It's okay. This is what I was born to do.
Transmitting final briefing. As of now, Airborne Squad 7 will exterminate the Alpha Nativas occupying District 3. Their objective is the capture or dispatchment of the Elder Nativa.
We begin with a view above Earth. In space, a fleet of airships prepare to descend onto Earth and are quickly blown the fuck out by the greatest missile defense system in the known universe.
The threshold has been surpassed. Activating shield.
Not to complain immediately, but I'm going to. You'd think as the 7th Airborne Squad unit they would be a better defense against the missile barrage. They seem to be organized enough, but maybe they underestimated their own preparations. After all, why would your ships be equipped with a single shield that only guards the front rather than one that envelops the exterior? Maybe they weren't expecting missiles that split off into other missiles, Gungeon style. But still, the shield's an odd design. In any case, the invaders are left with no other choice than to deploy the pod people to the surface of Earth to have any chance of completing their mission. Man, they're really dropping like flies. If those shields were to be placed anywhere, I'd think those drop pods would have been the most suitable considering the size. And these are the ground units being deployed. Protecting them should probably take priority if you are to eliminate the Elder Nativa, whatever that is. Alright, enough on the shields. A spectacular crash landing leaves the pod disabled, unable to be opened from the inside.
The hatch. Come on. Come on!
Which, seems to be a major design issue. The door can't be released by the inhabitant if the pod is damaged in any way? Whoever was in charge of the construction of these devices needs to be taken out back, deep into the woods, because they're batting 0 for 2 in grave design flaws. And it can only be opened, or rather forced apart from the outside, if someone is around to check the pods.
Taki, take my hand.
Oh boy, I sure do hope this isn't a reoccurring issue. Taki and Eve make their way through the field as their crew gets slaughtered by the Nativa inhabiting the planet. It also serves as a good set piece to get the basics of combat down. We'll get to that. For now, the pair arrive at the rendezvous point and find a strong Nativa wiping the floor with more of their team.
Is that an Alpha Nativa? Let's join them.
My God.
No! The squad's life signs. We're the only 2 left.
Man, what a catastrophic start to the mission. The warships were dismantled, the pods scattered, and the remainder of the crew sent to liberate Earth are all but eradicated, leaving Eve in a state of distress.
Eve! Eve, pull yourself together.
Taki?
Just up to us to see this mission through. Understand?
But at least she cares about the state of her squad and all of the death around her. That's a start. Taki snaps her out of it so that they can take out the Boxer Brute in front of them.
Eve, are you ready?
I've got nothing to add here. The choreography is just cool.
It wasn't an alpha, but it was a strong one. You fought well, even better than during training.
But the fight is far from over as a new threat emerges.
Wait, Eve. I hear something. Eve! Eve, are you alright? Alpha Natiba.
Bird Lady Hook Hand thing. It's an Alpha Natiba stronger than even King Hippo, and Taki is ready to square off.
Here, friend. It's me you want.
But Hook Hands is more interested in Eve, leading to...
No! Eve! Get out of here!
Taki!
Man, these Natiba don't mess around. They've already decimated an entire fleet and taken up the stragglers remaining in a brutal fashion. And now Eve is all that's left. The last member of the squad. Next scene.
It's quiet.
Next scene? Is there a chance we can circle back to the prior scene and have a look at the aftermath to fill in the missing pieces? Who is this guy? How did Eve survive? Where did Hook Hands go? They don't really elaborate on the period between Adam finding Eve and searching through the empty city. The most you get is a summarized blurb about Eve being hesitant of Adam and a few rest site scenes.
What's wrong? From here on, you have to stay alert, Eve.
About yesterday. Thank you for saving me.
It's nothing, really. Though I have used up almost all of the exospine materials that I collected over the years.
Oh,
It's alright. It now means we can help each other. We can track down the Alpha Natiba together. And, well, I'd have trouble making it out here by myself anyway. If you can locate the Hall of Records, you'll have done more than enough.
listen, don't worry. I promise. I'll make sure to repay you. Adam, do you meet airborne squad members from the colony often?
No, not really. Yesterday I just happened to be around the area. I've never seen such a large-scale airborne operation.
Why did you save me?
I'm not really sure. It just felt right. Like I was meant to. It's hard to describe. It's just a Short, intense feeling.
And while it gives a bit more insight into motivations, it needs more to not have it seem so disconnected. Jumping ahead, but when it comes to the characters, they don't get the time in the spotlight that they should. And when characters are given a chance to shine, they're more often than not let down by the delivery of the dialogue.
What do you think?
Damn kid. Tinkering with my drone.
Wow, good work. You're gonna put me out of a job.
I thought you were already out of a job.
You little brat.
This is the fisherman's dream. Your ultimate tool.
The look on your face. I've stupefied the angel. If this isn't the ultimate tool, I don't know what is.
It lacks emotion and it sounds too sterile, especially in scenes that are supposed to have impact and weight. But at least it's not sterile in a Veilguard way.
Well, wasn't expecting to fight an ogre today. Then again, I also didn't expect to learn that my gods are rampaging around and trying to end the world. Just one of those days. Oh, baby, a trip!
It sounds like an issue with the voice direction, and it's not just in the English dub either. In fact, the dialogue itself just sounds uncanny in a sense. I know what they're saying, but how they say it is a whole other thing. And there's an abundance of examples of this. It's not entirely the same throughout, and there are lines that are delivered quite well, but let's not rush ahead. The voice performances are probably the worst that Stellar Blade gets in terms of its overall quality, but as long as the characters themselves aren't bumbling hypocrites, it'll be a fine start.
So this must be Eidos 7.
Eidos 7 is a city devoid of any remnant of humanity, as it, like the rest of the planet, have been effectively abandoned for decades. 72 years to be exact. Eve and Adam have traveled here in search of the Hall of Records and an Alpha Nativa that he's seemingly able to track. As they leave the ship, Eve takes a moment to take in the sights.
Something is falling from the sky. A strange sensation. This must be Earth's rain.
You can infer quite a bit from this one line. Wherever Eve is from, she wasn't born on Earth. Those airships had to have come from somewhere, and the 7th Airborne Squad's mission seems to be one that involves taking over Earth or taking it back. Whatever the case is, Eve has never been here prior to crash landing, and knowing that, most of what she does end up seeing will be new to her.
Adam, what is this?
Don't you know this already? It's a map.
A map? How do you synchronize the location on the map?
And as the game goes on, we can gain a sense of what she knows and what she doesn't. Whether or not that's executed well remains to be seen. Maybe there will even be enough characterization to compare to our current gold standard. The two make their way through the city and up a parking tower.
The crack is quite deep. It's going to be difficult to pass. We'll have to go across, past the parking tower.
Into the path of an elite Nativa.
Look! That's not an ordinary enemy!
Adam, get back!
The boss fights are one of Stellar Blade's best selling points, and it's not hard to see why. A varied moveset that's telegraphed fairly and allows for different ways to counter, Nativa designs that are unique and look really cool, backdrops that are visually appealing. It's pretty apt for a creature that harnesses electricity to be active during a storm. There's also a unique track that's set for each boss, and this one's pretty great. The whole package makes for a fight that's fair for the player and looks damn good too. Slaying Abaddon paves the way for Adam and Eve to get through the rest of the city to reactivate a monorail by doing a puzzle that's only a hair harder than the science puzzles in Spider-Man. Not a high bar, but hey, we'll take what we can get.
This ancient electronic device is our transport.
All right then. After you. Eve, are you all right?
Oh, I was just remembering something from yesterday.
Eve, what are you going to do after you defeat the Alpha Nativa?
All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose. All we must do is complete the mission.
And there's additional confirmation that the airborne squad's sole purpose is to combat the Nativa that are wandering the Earth. Now, your immediate thought would be thinking this is like the Nier series, but high intellectuals will have concluded that this is actually a parallel to M. Night Shyamalan's After Earth.
Denied! Sit down!
Anyways, the duo arrive at the flooded commercial sector, and eventually the Hall of Records to retrieve the hypercell.
At the start of the 22nd century, humanity's right to life was threatened by advanced global warming. Having foreseen this, Mother Sphere ensured mankind could meet this challenge. The eons-long process of natural adaptation resolved near instantly. The body cell replaced the heart and made it possible to survive in environments without oxygen or water. We can now withstand the crushing pressures of the deepest oceans and even exit a space station without the need of a spacesuit.
The body cell? Are we dealing with a cyberpunk situation where humans have augmented themselves with electronic enhancements and dysfunctional dicks? Spoilers for this game, but not really. They're all robots. It's obvious, and I'm pretty sure that is the intent, but I'll circle back to that soon enough. The Hall of Records is an archive of achievements headed by a Mother Sphere, and it looks like there's some sort of revisionist history happening here that Eve isn't quite aware of.
I have no idea what that was all about. Adam, did it make any sense to you?
Mankind's past was buried with the final war. This must be a video from before that time.
I was very surprised when I first met you.
Why?
Back in the colony, we learned that everyone on Earth was completely wiped out.
I'm sure it must have seemed that way. But you can't expect Mother Sphere to know everything.
The only real question is, why is that the case? Regardless, Adam gets what he needs and they head further off to find the Alpha.
This is going to do a lot of good. Eve, thank you.
Okay. Then, can you tell me where the Alpha Nativa is?
Of course. It isn't far.
And before moving forward, Adam and Eve take a minute to observe more of the abandoned city.
I wonder what it looked like before the war.
What do you think it looked like?
Well, probably upright buildings, well-manicured flora, and living people.
That's it? You have no imagination. Then again, I guess you've never been here before. Imagine bustling streets, crystal clean air, and people smiling everywhere you look.
Have you ever seen something like that before, Adam?
Yes. A long time ago.
It's nice to actually have a heart-to-heart with two different viewpoints. A scavenger who's lived long enough to see Earth at its best and after its downfall contrasted with someone who's only seen the wreckage. Despite who Eve is and her commitment to completing her mission, it's nice to have her attempt to imagine how things used to be here.
Eve, are you ready to leave?
I just wanted to imagine what you were telling me. It's hard to imagine. Let's go.
Yeah, it's basic, but it's one of the few scenes that works well here. Making it out of the sewers, they find a crater with a drop pod in its center, emitting a distress signal.
Matter of fact, it's what made this crater.
Wait, that's a 5th Airborne Squad drop pod.
Eve, it's pretty faint, but I'm picking up a distress signal coming from that drop pod.
that means.
There might still be survivors.
Which would potentially mean there's someone inside who can't get out. Again. Making their way to the pod, they come face to face with the first Alpha Gigas. The better Gigas.
Let's see what's here.
Wait. I hear something.
Eve, look up!
God damn, what an entrance. Fight's pretty straightforward, with Gigas constantly dealing out haymaker combos, ground pounds, and rock tosses, and he hits fairly hard if you miss a guard. Harder said than done, honestly. And after a badass finisher, Eve retrieves the core from the Alpha.
My goodness. I can't believe this.
This is the Alpha Naytiba. You can tell by looking at its core.
An Alpha core. If she were... Eve. There's something you need to know. The truth is...
Hello?
I'm not gonna lie. The trope of telling someone something only to get interrupted and then not saying what you wanted to say is irritating. And it's even more so that Eve, someone who has been shown to be curious about a lot of things, will just not bring this up ever again. In this instance, I'm not sure what's stopping Adam from saying what he needs to say. But since we're dropping that, let's just open the pod.
Can somebody rescue me?
A human voice?
In the pod!
If you're there, please help!
Huh, it's a girl.
What the?
Or more specifically, a member of the 5th Airborne Squad, Lily Artemis.
You're a member of the 7th Airborne Squad, right?
Yes. And you?
Right. Let me introduce myself. I'm an engineering support of the 5th Airborne Squad. Lily Artemis II. But you can just call me Lily.
Just to recap, you were in that hideout waiting for another squad to arrive for almost 2 years?
And then you met us.
Yes.
What do you mean, 2 years? She wasn't stuck in that pod for 2 years, right? They don't exactly clarify this at this moment. And to be fair, Adam did say hideout, not pod, so I'm willing to believe she was elsewhere and mobile for that length of time. And if that's the case, how did she end up stuck in that pod? In the middle of an Naytiba roaming about? Damn lucky that capsule you were stewing in didn't get flattened. This is gonna bug me if there's no clear answer. Also, this door stuck issue has been prevalent in these pods for at least 2 years. The almighty Mother Spear can't afford to do any testing, can't toss a crash dummy in there and do some QA in the colony. These are your most important units after all. Not to mention being holed up in a confined space for any period of time longer than a day would absolutely drive anyone mad. Even if Lily is equipped with a body cell, meaning she wouldn't need any oxygen or fuel to keep the body normal and functional, her mind would surely wander regardless.
I've been waiting a long time for the next squad to come in. It's been really lonely here.
Ah, so we are skipping that. Okay.
Then I can be your engineering support. Of course, I will need proper equipment first.
Equipment? Well, I did want to say something earlier.
Adam reveals there's still a remnant of civilization, a city called Xion, and offers assistance to Lily, as well as Eve's goals of killing the Naytiba under the condition that Eve helps Xion.
It's about joining forces and helping each other, just like we did before. Sound good?
Hey, why are you so worried? I mean, our ultimate goal is to save Earth and the future of humanity. So, we should all work together. As for me, I'm excited to see Xion.
And with some assurance from Lily, she agrees, and the group head off to Sepal. Fuck, I mean Xion.
Wow, a whole city underneath the wasteland.
The team land at Adam's safe house as they prepare to walk into Xion, city of the 22nd century. I'm definitely not making a reference to something that dates me and 80% of the population here.
Are all those walls around the city supposed to protect it from Naytiba attacks?
The walls don't seem to be as reinforced as well as they should be.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think either of you can really discuss what proper Naytiba defense is, considering...
Come on! Come on!
Can somebody rescue me?
After a few minutes of sightseeing, they head down to the presence chamber to... Good God, what's the deal with these lingerie guards? Not that I'm complaining, of course, just making an inquiry. Down, boy. Presence chamber. Oracle.
This place. This is where the memories are kept, right?
You've got a keen eye. That's right. The presence chamber is where memories are stored. The memories of those who couldn't make it back to Mother Sphere.
Storing memories. Like they're wearing Neuralink and shit. It's clear that from the start of the game, when you examine bodies during exploration, you'll find what are essentially transcripts of their last thoughts. Those thoughts can apparently be extracted from the corpses and stored elsewhere for further use, but they're primarily kept safe to not forget those that have fallen. Body cells that enable basic functionality and render the body useless when depleted, memory sticks that essentially carry the essence of a person. Further confirmation that these characters are indeed robots. I mean, come on, it's just a matter of these characters not realizing it. I don't believe the writers think we're that dumb. I hope.
Over here.
You can tell he's wise from the library he's got stacked around him. Although I suppose with all those wires that he is attached to, he can't do anything else, so can't knock a man for enjoying something.
Let me start the introductions. This is Xion's prophet, Oracle.
Adam has told me all about you. You defeated an Alpha Naytiba. Could you show me anything it might have dropped?
Here.
Oh, it's an Alpha Core. Please, a moment. Your objective is to rid the world of the Elder Naytiba, the leader of all other Naytibas. Well, then I suppose you're trying to use the Alpha Core as a key to open the way forward to the nest. Is that right?
How did you know that?
He appeared out of the blue, uniting the people and building the city of Xion. His past is a mystery. He intends to help Eve as she agrees to save Xion, but his true intention is still a mystery. Just like his past. Bit redundant, isn't it? Could have been translated better. His true intentions are unknown, there's more to his words than he lets on. You know, food for thought.
Unfortunately, the nest cannot be opened with the Alpha Core alone.
What? No way!
But is there really no other way to reach the nest?
By fusing 4 Alpha Cores together, you create something called a Master Core. Only with the Master Core will you be able to reach the very deepest corner of the nest.
Why exactly do 4 Alpha Cores create a Master Core as the key to the nest? It's never really elaborated on, so I guess I'll just have to chalk it down to video game logic. High IQ Oracle is essentially connected to the internet, his personal link that facilitates his seemingly vast knowledge and the crutch the team will use to proceed forward to track down the Alphas.
That's enough for introductions. Adam, please insert the hypercell.
Hey, Lily, this way.
Oh, it's so dark. I really don't like the dark.
This is the hyperdrive, the source of all of Xion's energy.
The hypercell that Adam and Eve took from the Hall of Records is what will be used to restore power to the hyperdrive in the city, to hopefully awaken the people who are currently in battery saver mode.
Is this some kind of graveyard?
No. The people here are in a deep sleep due to energy depletion.
It appears that the city's population is near empty because of resource management. Not enough energy to go around for the thousands of citizens who made Xion a refuge. The chamber itself is a place that stores the memories of the departed and preserves those still clinging to life, which gives Eve a stronger motive to help out and do more than what is just required of her.
Carrying on this way, it can only bring darkness. Eve, please help us.
Not that Eve herself is a selfish character, nothing I've seen really indicates that. Not as if they've given me a ton to work with yet, but if Eve has the opportunity to help others, she will do so, whether it's in service of her initial goal or not, for the most part.
If you need help, we might be able to fix her. After all, we do have engineering support from the airborne squad.
What? Is that so? But I have no way to repay you.
No, I don't need anything. I don't need any kind of incentive to save someone.
Bit on the nose there, but regardless, it is how she's characterized. After all, I would expect her to be a team player who is often concerned for the well-being of others if she was raised with an entire squadron of fighters like her. Even if we didn't see much of that and they all got wiped away like flies, but I digress. She's not a begrudgingly hesitant hero, or one that pretends that the act of helping is either a bother or solely being done to use others. Again, it's basic, but at the very least, it's sincere, which is why it works for the most part.
Thanks to you, the lives of tens of thousands of people have been extended. And my personal link is also stabilizing.
That's great news! Does that mean we can figure out the location of the Alpha Natiba now?
Oracle informs the group that he can't load up Google Maps until more power is restored to Xion, and so he tasks them to head to the wasteland towards Atlas Lavare to grab another hypercell. Oh, and this man is here too, I guess.
All the Elder's energy is still being directed at maintaining the cradle.
Who are you?
Oh, this here is man.
Real Kojima naming convention hours.
I'm fragile, but not that fragile.
Before heading out, we get an opportunity to look around the city and see what's going on around there with our circuitry citizens and the overall situation. Xion is a rundown city teetering on the edge of collapse. Whether it's from the lack of resources that have forced the people into hibernation through the cradle mentioned earlier, or a growing dissent among the people who believe that said cradle is being used for ulterior motives. And the crackdown on resources and attempts to quell opposing thoughts aren't helping matters either. The turmoil within Xion is portrayed in a gray zone with perspectives on both ends of the spectrum. The people here are just trying to get by where they can, and it's all hopeless. It's even reflected in the background track. Faith in Mother Spear is also dwindling, a sentiment that's seen outside of Xion as well. It's a reasonable position to have considering how Earth is now. Abandoned and left for the Natiba to roam about, leaving those left behind to scrounge and scheme to find a better life. Most of the people here refer to Eve and the airborne squad as angels, saviors that arrive from above to provide salvation for the downtrodden. I mean, I'm sure after the third squad is still getting wiped out and not delivering any results, it's harder to believe, but they do symbolize a hope that things could get better on Earth. And as the game goes on, Eve can talk with the different vendors and residents around the city and get a grasp of their stories and how they're living, more or less. They're generally one note with straightforward characterization, which isn't necessarily a negative, especially when they remain consistent, but it becomes hit or miss with whether or not that simplicity works, resulting in characters that have a story but fall flat with a lack of depth to expand on it.
Ah, Angel. Lovely to meet you.
You don't seem very likable.
Oh, wow, Eve. That was out of nowhere. You know, if I didn't know any better, you sound a lot like... I feel like I know what they were going for. Roxanne is described as a shady character who gets her information through shady means. She's not a morally upright individual, which would lead to some admonishing her line of work. But with nothing else guiding it along, Eve is just abrasive towards her for being morally dubious at best.
Angel, thank you so much for bringing a little bit of light into this dark alleyway.
I didn't come here for your compliments.
Very scary.
Or how about Barry, who works at a strange shop called Barry's? He's the only resident at Xion who practices the long-lost art of culinary craft.
What kind of refinement work is this? I guess even things like this are considered a resource in Xion.
What? A resource? This is a food source.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Their bodies have no need for oxygen or food, at least not as much as pure energy does for them. And while everyone else's consumption of food is more thoughtless, Barry at Barry's enjoys preparing all kinds of items from numerous sources.
A corpse? My goodness. I simply can't believe what I'm hearing. Please call it cuisine.
Cuisine.
I need things like this. Fish. Scavengers aren't interested in these things at all.
It's not necessary, but it's a hobby he loves doing.
Are you actually cooking? For what reason?
Reason? Everything doesn't have to have a reason, you know. You had no reason to help me, but you did it anyway. Scraps, parts, energy, you name it. Everybody's fighting for scraps. Let's do this later. No, we don't need this now. This is just how things are. We've given up the finer things in life. If all we're living for is bare necessity, how are we any different from the machines? I'm just trying to hold on to the past. That's all.
He's a simple man, that Barry. Or Kaya, who runs a scrap shop called Sister's Junk and occasionally spends her time either mentioning her sister or Eve.
If my sister was here to help, we would be much better stocked.
I understand. I have someone who is almost like a sister to me. Your sister sounds like a smart businesswoman.
My sister's name is Kara. Kara. She's strong and decisive. So I believe she's out there. Somewhere.
And that's pretty much it. And while her questline leads to a unique fight with an Atiba and discovering the fate of her sister, it really doesn't go much deeper than that.
This is a memory stick. That means...
Please consider her death avenged.
Avenged? Huh? Is that what it is? Actually, I figured this would happen. I knew my sister couldn't have survived like that. I was just hoping for the best. But I guess all I was doing was just denying reality.
Kaya.
It's okay. The important thing is that I have my sister's memories back. Her memory will live on in me, running our establishment together.
You could have fed more into her optimism or hope of her sister being alive despite the near impossibility, or more about Kara in relation to Kaya. She's still cute, so I guess that's something. There are moments where other, less significant characters bring more emotionally impactful moments, like the man who's holed up in his home surrounded by teddy bears. After losing his sister in the colony extinction, he spent every moment buying bears from scavengers to find one that held the memory stick, lost in a sandstorm and continued to come up short, eventually giving up and slinking further into depression from losing the only thing he could remember his sister by.
Do you see this? I've searched dozens, hundreds, but there's no sign of Jade. It's all over now. This is the punishment I deserve. Jade, I'm so sorry.
It's not a lot, but it is enough. Just the right amount of storytelling and characterization to have a solid side narrative.
Jade?
There was something other than stuffing inside it. It must be Jade's memory stick, right?
Oh, Jade. I'm sorry. Thank you.
And the costume you get from it is very delightful. It makes all the fluff worth it. And then there's Kasim, who runs the hair salon, partly from the memory of his daughter. He styles to bring out beauty and evidently seeks to bring it out of the angel visiting.
How dull.
It's also something Eve becomes invested in, to no longer be dull.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Angel.
I wasn't asking for an apology. I just wanted to know why you said that. What is this place?
I style your hair so you feel better and confident. Your hair looks great. It's full of potential. But that potential is hidden at the moment. That's why I said it is dull.
Is that so? Are you saying you can make my hair less dull?
Of course. But I don't have the proper tools with me right now.
Okay. I can look for them. In return, you will style my hair.
Sounds good to me. I never thought you'd really help me. Thank you.
Now will you style my hair? Please don't make it dull.
Oof, I guess that really got under your skin.
And what's evoked from Adam can only be described as repulsed lust.
I'm not sure. I think I feel more confident. Adam, what do you think?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Disgust? I tried. I will say there is one specific quest line that I enjoyed the most out of everything that comes out of Xion built up throughout the bulk of the game. And it all starts with a song. Eve enters the bar and finds a functioning Enya and presumably the owner Sue watching over her.
Halt. This is a restricted area.
Wait. I'm an airborne squad member from the colony.
Huh. So you're an angel. What brings you here? Looking for a tour?
I was curious about the song coming from inside.
I heard the Prophet gave you permission to enter the city, but that doesn't mean you can go around as you please. Of course, those who've lived in the comfort of the colony don't know anything.
I don't mean any harm. I apologize if I've caused you trouble.
Enya, you okay? I wonder how long she can keep singing, with her body in the state it's in. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's pointless.
Eve then takes it upon herself to repair Enya, to try and build trust for Sue and the others like him who don't trust those from the colony.
The technology here won't do. Do you think you might be able to help somehow?
Well, yes. But do you really think this is a good time? Hey, why are you so worried? I mean, our ultimate goal is to save Earth and the future of humanity. So we should all work together.
Eventually, with help from Lily, Enya is partially repaired and can at least speak freely again.
Sue, are you there? I can feel you.
Enya, are you all right? Enya!
Yes, your hands. They're very warm. It's been so long. It's starting to come back to me. You helped me. I would like to repay your kindness, but I don't have anything to offer. The only thing I can do is sing.
Your song is more than enough.
But it's around this time where Sue disappears from the bar, which is odd considering how protective he is over Enya.
Do you think he will abandon me?
I don't think Sue would do a thing like that. Please, don't worry. This might just be a misunderstanding. Where exactly did you hear this?
I heard it from Beau, one of Sue's colleagues. Eve, I'm sorry to bother you with this, but I can't leave here because of my legs.
And after following a few leads into the wasteland,
he engaged in at least one fight here. Most likely, more than one.
You think he slipped up, or was ambushed, and things went south from there? I've entered the footprint data I've collected into the scan system.
Sue was found with a pair of legs while on his last after fighting off Naytibas to procure parts to get Enya walking again, which actually provoked some rare emotion out of Eve.
I barely made it, but I managed to get the parts for Enya's legs. Though it was pointless. I wasn't strong enough to get back.
What possessed you to do something so dangerous? And without even telling Enya?
I wasn't able to do anything for Enya. If it wasn't for you, I would...
Stop talking like that! Let's go back. Right now. Enya needs you.
Finally, back at the bar, Sue and Enya reconcile and get their feelings in order.
Enya, so...
Sue.
I'm sorry.
You thought I wanted to walk?
Well...
Of course I do. But...
well...
Walking is meaningless if it means losing you.
Enya, I'm sorry. I felt so useless just waiting around, watching. I wanted to help. I just wanted to see you walk again. That's all. Really. I'm sorry.
Never do that again. I mean it. Never again.
They're probably the two characters that have the most going on as far as side content goes. Sue being someone who could do nothing but wait around watching the person he cares about deteriorating, grateful for Eve's help but couldn't escape feeling like he wasn't doing enough, to ultimately risking his life for the sake of Enya's freedom. It's about as complex as Xion's residents get in terms of an actual arc and helps elevate Sue as best droid. Certainly has a lot more going on than Guy over there. In the last portion of Enya's quest, Digger informs Eve with info relating to Enya's song where... Oh yeah, I never mentioned Digger, did I? He's a bit of an odd fella, lives in the wasteland, seeks to find a way to re-establish Mother Spear's network back online to get answers, gets rejected, and moves to Xion once his questline is complete. Probably one of the least interesting questlines available, but his theme slaps unreasonably fucking hard. So he's not all shit. Anyways, when Digger has a realization that he's heard Enya's voice a long time ago, Eve makes her way to the Opera House in the desert to discover forgotten history. A period of time where androids like Enya engaged in culture alongside organic humanity. Before the wars that engulfed Earth, Enya spent that time as a performer, and the songs she sang remained with her throughout the years, even after losing her memories.
This song is so much like the one Enya's always singing. The lyrics seem a bit different. It might be included in some of Enya's lost memories. Madame Machine, Eidos, Art Center. Information about time, host, organizer, and sponsors. Target audience, how to watch, admission on first-come, first-served basis. It seems that an autograph session with the stars was held after the performance. They even had a souvenir shop inside the art center. Madame Machine, main actress, artificial actress, Enya. The person here does look really similar to our Enya, and she even has the same name and everything. It's like Digger said, the Enya here and the Enya in Xion are one and the same.
Beyond Fate. Was that the title of the song?
Our memory sticks are designed to store the most important information in the deepest places. The fact that that song was the only memory Enya had left proves just how important it is to her.
That one memory has carried her through decades of pain and confusion. Even if the words themselves change, the melody remains. And although Enya doesn't remember anything more of her past, she can still move forward, and that's all that matters.
You used to be an artist, in a broader collection of artists. But this was the most important clue. You were featured in a piece titled Madame Machine. The song you sang in it closely resembles the song you sing now. The song's title is Beyond Fate.
Beyond Fate? Is that so?
Yes, though that's only part of the whole picture.
It's okay. This is enough.
Are you sure about that? I still have more to share.
Beyond fate. My past self could be urging me with those very same words. To try and make peace with the past I've lost and accept what I have now. It seems as if my obsession has troubled many people. But now, I have someone looking out for me. Isn't that all that really matters?
Well, I suppose you're right.
Eve, thank you. You've done so much for us.
All right. Take this data. What is stored there will help you fully restore Beyond Fate.
Okay. Thank you, Eve.
She can live a new life with the people who are by her side in the song that she sings now, to keep going beyond being stuck in the past, beyond faith.
If I may, could I maybe ask you to sing that song for me now?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
And this easily ranks Enya as best girl. Sorry, Eve. A proper character with a good resolution to their story. If the others had more time to be refined, then the side characters as a whole would be in a great place. I do like the city of Xion, even if it does need work. But that's enough for now, it's best to move on. Back at the safe house, Lily finalizes an upgrade to the drone, and it's a pretty fucking sick gun.
It's an all-new, upgraded Drone 2.0 that can launch long-range projectiles. This is more than just an upgrade. It's an evolution!
As far as the design goes, I like the way it wraps around the arm and how balling her hand into a fist fires the drone. It stands out and it looks good.
Colony Tech at your service. What do you think?
Damn kid. Tinkering with my drone.
I'm going to borrow Adam's workshop for a bit. I want to tinker with the drone.
Alright, let's all finish what we have to do and meet back at the tetrapod.
Adam's ship still needs to be repaired and won't be ready to traverse the wasteland yet, so Eve opts to travel on foot instead of straight to their initial objective.
Then when will you be ready?
Unfortunately, it's going to take longer than a day.
Then I'll go ahead on foot. You can use the drone to guide me.
What? The wasteland is a lot bigger than you think.
I can't just sit here and wait. In fact, I want to see the wasteland with my own eyes.
You're one of a kind, Eve. Alright, I'll guide you with the drone.
It's hard to phrase because I can see what they were going for, but again, the dialogue continues to fall short of the mark, and I have to point it out. Eve wants to travel to the wasteland, not just to sate her own curiosity and potentially learn more, but it's probably more valuable to know the lay of the land on a deeper level. It just doesn't sound natural. Even if they did as little as changing in fact with besides, it would work much better. I like you, game, but some refinement is necessary. Alright, enough standing around. Let's head out.
The lone and level sands stretch far away.
This is the largest land I've ever seen in my life.
And yet danger lurks around every corner. Watch your step. If you trip, you might find yourself caught in the arms of death.
I want to talk about the other aspects that Stellar Blade has to offer. As Eve and company explore the world, they'll come across various Naytiba, and they're all incredibly hostile. And their aggressive approach helps to sell just how much of a threat they are to everything that isn't them. They spring traps, surround their target, and are often relentless in their assault. A member of the airborne squad has the best chance to even the odds, and Eve is no exception. Combat's pretty simple, chaining together light and heavy attacks for a number of combo routes. I would describe the combat as precise rather than sluggish. Eve moves in such a way where her movement and strikes are deliberate, which is why they have a fair bit of wind-up and follow-through. Eve as a fighter is pretty agile. If anything, it's the one thing she has the most confidence in doing. Combat feels good to execute, and getting into the rhythm of the fight is satisfying, especially during the tougher fights. If I lost a battle, it's more often my fault than an attack that I had no means of countering. Not that there aren't any. Every enemy will have a health, shield, and balance bar. When an enemy's shield is depleted, more health is taken away when dealing damage. And the same goes for Eve. And when using the skin suit, Eve will have no shield at all and no additional damage mitigation, which makes for a greater challenge for those who want it. Or a better view, I suppose. But I like the outfits, so. Balance is essentially a stagger gauge, and by performing enough parries, Eve will deliver retribution to stunned enemies. Finishers that take a chunk off of enemy health and look good when executed. Most bosses have unique retribution animations as well. You also have a set of beta skills to use. These skills can interrupt enemy attacks to give more breathing room in a tougher fight. You'll need to use basic attacks and block incoming attacks to fill up the beta gauge and use more skills. The right use of beta skills can chew through shields with the shield breaker or disrupt enemy balance with triplet. All this work just to take down a few Naytiba. She truly is a beta in an alpha world. The window to block a move feels incredibly generous, and without any discipline, it's pretty easy to fall into the habit of spamming the block button in hopes of hitting a parry. Dodging, on the other hand, carries more risk, and the window to execute a perfect dodge is tighter. Performing a perfect dodge gives Eve a counter that helps interrupt enemies. And in addition to the regular dodge, blink and repulse are contextual dodges that are activated when prompted by certain enemies. When a blue prompt appears, blinking forward evades that attack and sends Eve behind the enemy to deal damage. And when a purple prompt appears, Eve flips off of an enemy to repulse and reveal a weakness that can only be shot at using the drone. Yellow prompts indicate that attacks can't be blocked or parried, and red prompts mean an attack combo is coming that can be dodged and parried. And the combat isn't limited to where you have to follow those color indicators. You can choose to dodge or repulse or blink attack or stun the enemy before they can even pull a combo off. There's flexibility there, and it feels good to find alternatives to defend from those attacks. Combining all of these mechanics together makes for an engaging combat system that looks and sounds great. And with Exospine and gear modifiers, you can tune the gameplay to cater towards a specific style, like relaxing the dodge window, or increasing the shield capacity, or increasing attack speed. Even modifiers that cater to the drone with more ammo or a chance to refund ammo. Hitboxes are tuned closer to enemy and player models, which makes jumping over attacks viable as well. It all comes together to make the experience worthwhile to play with, and I would hope so since it was the bulk of the game. The last thing to mention for now is the drone. After Lily upgrades it, it can be used to fire 4 types of ranged attacks: slugs, shells, stingers, and space beams. Each of them certainly has its uses, and repulse helps bring additional utility, but the ranged attacks aren't among the strongest in Eve's kit. The ammo carried at one time is limited, so extended use isn't an option unless you continue to stop by camps often. The abandoned laboratories are the times where the drone is at its most effective. The locations can be categorized into 3 types of environments. Linear locales like Eidos 7 or Matrix 11 are usually straightforward, with other sub-arenas to travel through, and some paths that contain collectibles like costumes. These locations also don't have any map data, which is frustrating when seeking out secrets. And then there are the old Eidos laboratories that contain the cells needed to power Oracle and the city of Xion. Combat here is limited to the use of the drone, and it gives a different dynamic to how combat was before that point, to more of a survivor horror feel with Way of Naytiba experiments coming at you and some narrative twist buried alongside them. They are the shortest levels of the game, but they have the most unique mechanics and give the gun drone more purpose outside of general use or repulse. And then there's more open spaces like the Wasteland, which does have a map to navigate with and is generally one large area with camps and fast travel points scattered about. These also contain an assortment of unique puzzles and challenges to complete for collectibles. I'd say the only negative that I have for this is that these open areas aren't that varied. They look great, but when 2 of them are just large dunes, it kind of blurs together. And there are unique locations in the Wasteland and Great Desert that set it apart, but the more open, empty spaces become all too similar. Aside from that, there are one set of collectibles that really grab Eve's attention.
What is this? It doesn't seem useful, but it looks intriguing. I'll look into it later.
As she travels around, unique cans can be found that are tied to a few rewards, like increased item capacity and additional gameplay incentives. Cans collected can be observed at the safe house when Lily creates a display to keep them in.
Lily? What is this thing? It looks so strange.
Oh, that's a can. In the past, it was used as a container for electrolyte solutions.
A can? I like it. I can read a variety of data from this. It isn't much, but I can still feel traces of memories in it.
It's a description or an advertisement for the electrolyte solution. Funny seeing you so interested in some old item. Well, they're kind of pretty in their own way. But if you're that worried about it, why don't I make a cabinet to store them?
All right then. As long as it's not a burden for you.
Oh, this is easy as pie for the one and only Lily Artemis. I'll prepare it right away. Let's make a collection together.
Thank you, Lily.
Ah, Eve, did you bring me the can? Because I've made all the preparations already.
Preparations?
Voila! I picked up some stuff I found lying around and I put together a cabinet. I think it would be good to store your cans here.
Storage and display at the same time. Not bad.
Have fun developing a large and sturdy rack for those stellar round cans. Sorry. There's enough going on in these areas where there's something new occurring, and it never felt like a chore to go out and grab memory sticks or new outfits, which I'll say all look fantastic. I am a simple man. Backtracking for locked chests was the extent of annoyance, and it wasn't too egregious, but you can miss a good chunk of them the first time around, which is annoying as New Game Plus gives a set of the same outfits with a different palette if that outfit was collected the first time over. So missing a chest or two means having to do at least 2 New Game Plus sessions in order to complete the collection, so be wary of that. Exploration never felt like a drag, especially with the soundtrack in the background. Stellar Blade absolutely crushed it when it comes to the music in this game. There isn't a single bad track on here, and every boss has their own theme. The music dynamically shifts between roaming and fighting. Even in the open areas, the music changes. For example, in the Wasteland, you get a quest to reboot a solar tower and enable the camps in that area. There's a track from before the reboot, and as soon as the tower is repaired,
system is now all clear. Reboot successful.
and it changes the atmosphere to something more motivating. Traveling the Wasteland from that point feels less mysterious and dire. Beyond activating the travel points to make exploring easier, the music is its own reward. I'm not done glazing the music either. There are over 180 tracks in the entire soundtrack. Tracks that only play for a minute and are still memorable. There's a large variety of music here, and it reminds me of another game that released the same year. Man, Vengeance really got snubbed. What a shame. I'm going to continue to bring up tracks that stuck out to me, but for now, let's move to the end of Altes Lavare and press on with the story. After clearing the Maelstrom and retrieving the hypercell, Eve notices the record left behind from a member of the 2nd Airborne Squad.
There's a legacy here. They leave important information for the next Airborne Squad.
I see. But why would an Airborne Squad come all the way here?
Maybe they knew something about the Alpha or the Elder.
I'll check the legacy.
Day 8 after the second dive. Third record. Legacy account Raven. Remaining survivors Ripley and Anis. We discovered this laboratory 4.47 kilometers from the drop-off point. It seems to be a facility that studied Naytibas, but it's hard to obtain accurate information due to severe contamination.
According to Raven, humans created androids, or Eidos, and eventually they started a war against each other, leading to humans being driven underground. Sometime after the start of Skynet, Naytibas emerged suddenly and began to wipe out the androids in what they called the Final War, which forced the remaining remnants of humanity to make their way to the colony away from Earth. Of course, this comes as a surprise to Lily and Eve.
I didn't think a record like this existed.
And there was another big war before the final war. I never learned about anything like that at the colony.
And while they both express confusion, Adam is just there.
The history of mankind is riddled with conflict. It's hardly a surprise to hear about wars before the final war.
Frustratingly vague as always. He really doesn't have an opinion on what he just heard, which is odd. With this initial whiplash of info, they head back to Xion, upgrade the hyperdrive, and get their next core location from the geocacher.
I am detecting the frequencies of an Alpha Naytiba coming from Matrix 11.
Matrix 11.
I will forward the map data to the tetrapod.
Alright, more glazing inbound. As Eve installs more cells, the vibe in Xion becomes more lively and hopeful.
The town seems different.
I see more people, more signs.
I told you, what we've accomplished has been well worth it.
The music evolves from its initial gloomy and sorrowful tune, and at this point it did feel as if things were improving. With the Wasteland in Xion, you feel a steady impact on the world around you as you help others and improve the state of things. The game is flawed in many ways, but part of what it does well are moments like these. After taking a moment to prepare, the crew head to Matrix 11, a train graveyard filled with facehuggers and eroding structures on the verge of collapse.
How far are you from the Alpha Core?
Hey, don't push me while I'm operating.
I know you're taking a break. Are you sure this is the right way? Maybe I should be in charge of navigation.
How about you do your job, and I'll do mine?
All right, stop it, both of you. Let's go.
Adam and Lily developed this bickering sibling dynamic that, frankly, isn't built upon that well. You have maybe one other instance of Adam straying from a straight man persona and fighting with Lily about the drone, and other than that, it's not expanded past this point. I mean, I can see Adam being protective of his drone because of its ease of use when scavenging, but then again, it's not brought up much. Although I do like Eve having to be a mediator between them.
Lily, I need this communication line.
Oh, meanie.
What? You were the one that interrupted.
Stop. We've got to focus.
But the content surrounding all of that is lacking. After that small spat, Eve is confronted by a stalker.
It's hiding.
Look at that grotesque, gnarly ghoul. I like the way it slithers and slashes about wildly. Its combo move has it thrash and wiggle along the floor, and its face acts like a saw grinding into the ground. It's a purely feral beast, and the track that accompanies it is complementary to how wild the fight is.
Fantastic finish.
Splitting the Stalker reveals some odd core that gives Eve access to a new set of burst skills. Gaining access to moves that temporarily increases your attack power or speed, or Virtual's Judgement Cut. It's quite literally Judgment Cut. I'm certainly not complaining. These skills are more powerful than beta skills, and most of them will interrupt and stun all enemies. Along with the burst skills, Eve gains new combo routes on her basic attacks and new counters after dodging and parrying. Her attacks nearly double, giving more options in combat. A reliance on these attacks will deplete burst energy fast, so being mindful and executing dodges often is necessary. When taking a rest, Eve hears something abnormal coming from her airborne squad comms.
I'm detecting a core signal coming from below. What was that sound?
That noise, it isn't normal.
Naytiba shouldn't be able to hack communication lines.
Huh? That sound and the negative pattern from the Alpha Core match.
What the hell? What exactly is happening down there?
We'll have to find out ourselves.
So, about that noise we heard on the Airborne Squad channel, I analysed the pattern, and the noise translates to kill me.
Well, we'll find out more once we get to the source of the contamination.
To figure out where the noise is coming from, they travel through the sewer system, much to Eve's dismay.
I'd like to avoid getting wet. The road is submerged.
I know, but it's our only option.
All right.
How come you don't like swimming?
I don't really know. I guess it just makes me think back to when I was born. Aren't the waters here on Earth usually contaminated?
Well, it isn't great for our bodies. Just the thought of cleaning this drone is making me dizzy.
Before heading to the core, they find a hideout that used to be occupied by androids after Skynet in the final war.
From the looks of it, this place has been abandoned for a long time.
Then, why do I feel warm?
Well, let's take a look around.
You said this was a piano, right?
Yeah. Music was an invaluable source of comfort for people here.
Including an altar of the dead and their memory sticks, waiting to be sent back to Mother Spear.
This is...
It's a place to honor the dead. They're still waiting for the salvation Mother Sphere promised them.
Damn.
I want to send the memories left here to Mother Sphere. That's where they belong.
This and several other areas in the world highlight how fate and its deity is all they have to go on, knowing they were abandoned and how things look dire. There's a consistent hope that they can still be saved. And I like the fact that Eve and the others take the time to honor those lives lost wherever they go.
Pain, eternal pain. Let me rest. Cut the power. Please end it. What should we do?
You know what it is she wants. It's over.
Yes. May your memories live on forever.
May your memories live on forever.
I'll help.
Me too, me too.
Thank you, both of you.
Afterwards, Eve smashes the Juggernaut. I just wanted to highlight how sick this finisher is. They acquire another legacy just sitting around and get to where the Alpha Core lies, where Eve makes a devastating discovery.
Looks like a human. I think they're alive. What should we do?
We have to save them from the contaminant.
What's that noise? No way.
Taki. How are you here?
The Alpha signal is spiking!
Eve, that's enough, I need team.
No. There's no way. That's impossible.
As far as the emotional aspect of it, I can't say I felt much. Taki was present for 3 minutes and I never really got anything else on her aside from the intro. But the fight itself? The fact that Taki moves very deliberately, not making a move until Eve gets closer. Her suit design with her one-handed sword. She even sprouts an Atiba appendage that doubles as both arm and wing. It's one of my personal favorite designs in this game in general, along with the backdrop with the mist surrounding the floor and the haunting track that ties everything together. The atmosphere is among the most fitting for a fight like this, Eve being forced to confront her mentor, who is most likely the one person she's the closest to. It's not an exhilarating fight like the fights before, it's very personal. And the build-up for Phase 2?
Dodge! It's collapsing! Careful! No!
Someone definitely cooked here. Taki becomes a real threat up close and at range once she decides to go on the assault. It's a fight that forces you to pay attention and remain on the defensive, and after enough time, Eve pulls out the core and brings Taki to her senses, if only for a little while.
It's over.
Yes.
The subjugation is being lifted.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Now, you can rest.
Yes. My Eve. Thanks for freeing me. I have a favor to ask of you. My memories. Mother Sphere. Can you send them to her? Will the memory stick be destroyed? Because it's already contaminated.
No, it won't be.
In that case, I'll be floating among the stars to space.
Taki! I promise, Taki. May your memories live on. Forever.
Again, this would hit a lot harder if the player got to know Taki for longer than they ultimately do. The only additional piece of Taki content out there is a motion comic that Shift Up released on their site, where Eve and Taki train and have a heart-to-heart before their mission. And while it's something else, it's not enough and something I would have liked to have seen in-game. Definitely would have gone a long way. And that's not to say that you can't create a strong emotional moment from a relationship that didn't have a lot of screen time dedicated to it. I mean, I've stated as much before. There's a way to do it, and this does not fall among them. It doesn't help that the voice direction is... Do I even need to say it?
May your memories live on. Forever.
This should be, at the very least, devastating in the moment, but it just doesn't sound like it, man. A quiver, a tear, something?
We were right there, man!
Back at Xion, Eve gives Oracle Hot Chip's memory stick to analyze.
It feels different from the elder Naytiba. I can dimly make out the image of a Naytiba bearing black wings.
He reveals that Hook Hands took Taki after its attack and infected her with Naytiba DNA, seemingly as some kind of vendetta, which does rile Eve up a bit.
As you know from first-hand experience, it is not an easy fight.
I'm aware of that, but I promise, I will find it, and I will make it pay.
That's the kind of mistake you can't make twice.
What? What did you say?
Nothing. Let's just prepare ourselves to go to Lavoir.
Glad to see there's at least some fire burning in that furnace. And back at the safe house, Eve finally gets access to her ulti from Lily reusing Taki's gear for Eve to use.
Well, I finished customizing the Taki device. So, you can now use Taki's weapon and skills.
Really? I didn't think that kind of thing would be possible. That's amazing, Lily. I'm sure Taki would have been happy to see this. Good work.
Taki mode can only be used once the gauge fills up after enough time in a fight. Once it's activated, it can be used for a short time with no danger to Eve's health. Instead, getting hit decreases the time of Taki mode further. I find that it's used more to avoid taking damage for a short time rather than using it to deal significant damage to enemies. On bosses, that's one thing, but even regular enemies took about as long to take down as they do out of it. And at this point, I'm convinced Lily just scammed Eve and gave her a sword made out of fucking paper mache. And even when avoiding attacks, the timer for Taki mode was too short. I know there's a balance for this. You don't want to trivialize encounters by being in Taki mode for too long, but I didn't really have any incentive to use it. It does play Taki's theme from phase 2 of the fight though, so that's neat. Anyways, let's listen to that second legacy Raven left behind, shall we?
Day 52, after the second dive. 5th record. Legacy account Raven. I am the lone survivor. The truth always lets me down.
Raven reveals some new information regarding Mother Spear and android Eidos. Most notably that once androids were created, Mother Spear decided that humans weren't shit, and then sought to wipe out humanity in order to achieve complete Eidos saturation.
Mother Sphere was a powerful artificial intelligence created by mankind. In the distant past, there was an engineer named Raphael Marx. He was her creator. Mother Sphere brought great prosperity to mankind, but after seeing the limits of humanity and the potential of android Eidos, she decided there was no room to spare for mankind.
To find that Mother Spear was not only a creation of humans, but that same creation went and starred at Skynet shakes up the crew. Eve is confused.
Why would she want to destroy us?
Lily is swimming in denial.
This information is full of errors. It's just not credible.
And Adam is being Adam.
Usually, things only exist because people make them. Like us.
How dare you? That's blasphemy! Sacrilege!
Right. Sorry. But the truth doesn't need to be kind, only true. The grace of Mother Sphere is a fiction. At least for the humans left here. Maybe you too will come to feel this way.
What?
Cryptic ass Adam giving the game away a bit too early, implying that they were also created, not born. Which is true, but they don't know that yet. So how do you, Adam? Learning that your pseudo-god wanted you gone has to be hard to take in. And to be honest, while there is not reason to trust that information, nearly everything left behind on Earth tends to give more credence to it. Regardless, Eve decides to press on until they can get the full story.
This isn't the whole story. We don't even know if this is true. We need more information.
Until then, they land in the Great Desert to find the next Lavare and Hypercell. Just have to be mindful of all the sand. Rough, coarse, is absolutely everywhere. Drowning in your fursuit has got to be rough, and a bitch to clean out. And can I just say, fuck these turrets. I fucking hate them. They're the worst enemies and it's not even close. Everything else requires some strategy, or at least their moves have ways to be countered. These fucks weasel out of sight, fire bullshit, and if you're lucky enough, they quickly stands up and pull a bastion. Usually quick enough to where you can't properly react. And if two of them synced up, you don't need to wait for the game over screen to know that you're fucked. They're found in the wasteland, but they're especially worse here, like in this chokehold. Fuck these guys in particular. The Great Desert's not all bad though. It's got an oasis, and best boy Clyde is around to teach Eve the joys of fishing.
Oh, it's Clyde. Well, I'll be damned. Didn't expect him to still be alive. There are some people who would prefer to wander instead of simply joining Xion. They always end up the same way. Well, mostly.
That's...
I already know what you're gonna say. If it would really make you feel better, you can try talking to him.
You can't be out here like this. An Atiba might find you at any... What? Why is that so important to you? Hey, can you hear me?
That's a surprise. Are all angels so insistently talented at everything they do?
You're surprised? That's hardly something I'd expect someone sitting in a place like this to say.
After the colony extinction took everything away, fishing was really all I had left. Ruined streams in the city, underground reservoirs, barren shores. I wandered all over the place, my trusty fishing rod in tow. Frankly, I think I'd already given up by then. Feast your eyes. Water's clear, beautiful. The whole world's a dump. I can't think of a better place to spend one's time. Mother Sphere's will be damned. I used to curse everything in sight. But if it was her will that led me to this place, I think I can live with that.
Man just wants to fish in peace amidst all the chaos and the ruin around him. And to be honest, who can blame him? I like Clyde. He's chill. But we're not here to fish and chill. Too much. Let's get past another lingerie guard and get into the Abyss Lavare. After clearing the lab, the crew gain another cell, and of course another legacy, to put together a large piece of the puzzle. Might as well check it. I'm sure it's got nothing inside that'll fundamentally change your worldview.
Day 78 after the second dive. 8th record. Legacy account Raven. I have discovered an important record of human history.
Raven's account reveals Mother Sphere started the war against humanity to claim Earth and declared themselves the new humans. From there, she began altering history and scrubbing knowledge of any organic humans who were there, and an unexpected factor halted that advancement.
The surviving humans, the real humans, they evacuated to an underground facility. During this time, the surviving humans evolved in order to gain the strength to face the androids. The result of genetic engineering and rapid evolution, brute strength and survival instinct. That's what they've become. Monsters. The monsters that we're fighting are the Naytibas.
Not only are Eve, Lily, and everyone in Xion not humans, duh, but the humans that are on the planet evolved to become Naytiba, to drive out Eidos. Again, the fact that they are androids isn't meant to be this huge twist for the player. It's a revelation for the characters in-game, meant for them to realize how much they've been lied to about their lives and the lives of those on Earth. So to recap, a human named Raphael created Mother Sphere as a means to drive innovation. Mother Sphere herself then created those androids called Eidos, who were originally meant to live alongside humanity. Once Mother Sphere realized the potential of Eidos surpassed human potential, a divide among the two groups widened and a war began to eradicate the humans living there to take over Earth and rewrite history. Humans were driven underground into the Lavares that carried the hypercells, where they forced themselves to evolve through rapid experimentation and became Naytiba to drive out the androids, who were then forced to make their way up through the space colony. And to prevent the Naytiba from reaching them, they dropped part of the colony back down onto Earth while abandoning a large chunk of androids to the man-made horrors, cutting off the network, communication with Mother Sphere, and forcing the remnants of humanity to survive in ruin. This at least is according to Raven, and confirmed by Oracle.
They created us, the Eidos, through Mother Sphere, and for a time we lived in a kind of symbiosis with them. We are certainly human, but this was not the case not too long ago. It is true that those who came before were responsible for the creation of Mother Sphere. The ones now referred to as the last surviving humans. The few who escaped destruction were scattered to the winds, but some managed to flee and find shelter in the ruins in Lavoir. It was originally a facility for the purpose of genetically evolving mankind. After all, lifespans of the surviving humans were very short. That facility was the birthplace of what we have come to call Naytibas.
If you were built up your whole life to believe a narrative crafted by your creator and kept away from knowledge of the contrary, I think it would make sense for these characters to act how they've acted from the start.
No! We're humans! Humans with complete bodies, perfectly in harmony with machinery and living tissue. Naytibas, on the other hand, are incomplete because they are made only of living tissue. They can't adapt to different environments, and they can't even survive in space!
But what if we were created to solve such imperfections?
If angels were created to cull what they thought were mindless monsters, perhaps it's better to be convinced that they're humans taking back their planet and not the ones conquering it. It's no wonder that Eve was fairly naive upon landing on Earth. What knowledge would she need other than how to fight Naytibas? What use would it have if not to mar her purpose, the reason she was made in the first place? It also makes sense why her delivery was so damn dry.
Then we're androids. We were created.
Then why did Mother Sphere...
Humanity's survival depended on a reorganization of the species. And that conflict led to war, and the eventual extinction of the surviving humans.
That can't be.
And that would be why the Airborne Squad was created, to clean up the mess that Mother Spear made and to clear what remains of the old humanity. Then again, if that is the reason, you would think you'd take better care to ensure your group of soldiers can actually make it onto the fucking planet to complete their mission. Although there is no means of communication outside of the colony and Naytibas evolve at a rapid pace, there would be no telling what awaits them below, especially 72 years after the final war. Knowing that, the botched entries actually make more sense. Wow. Consider my initial issue amended. Mostly. Those drop pods are still a problem. After learning more of this new information, the positions of the crew are still pretty much the same. Eve not knowing what to make of it.
Then, those we've killed so far, they were all humans. This production facility was definitely made for Naytibas. If the Naytibas were human, we, the ones fighting against humans, must be... I need to think.
Lily being a bit firm and believing the mission is still the right one to follow.
Well, that still doesn't change the fact that Naytibas are our enemies.
And Adam, yeah. I do like the way that the story is laid out. Combined with what Eve finds in both those Eidos labs and the memory sticks of fallen scavengers, everything regarding the world and the narrative is pretty consistent. No contradictions to be found throughout the large archive of information as far as I can tell. Yet. And as the main story moves along, it's only strengthened further. It's genuinely solid. It feels like a narrative that was created and refined over time and not something that they just threw together and ignored entirely. And sure, the dialogue is bland at times, the writing is simple, the facial animations are often stiff or exaggerated, the characters are fairly flat, and all of that brings the experience down. But above all else, it is sincere. Everything is taken seriously. No odd time shifts, no, did I just do that? It feels appropriate for the world it's set in, if that makes sense. And yeah, it's clearly inspired by the Nier series, about as far as threads like humans and androids, revelations regarding humanity, what it is to be human, bosom-blessed body baddies that blast past just about everything. But in terms of broader strokes, it's just not at all the same, especially knowing how a story like Stellar Blade plays out in comparison to Nier Replicant and Automata. The Nier series, and by extension its creator, Yoko Taro, deals more heavily in moral relativity, blurring the line on good and evil. And while Stellar Blade is a simpler story about identity and false ideals, I don't believe it was trying to be anything more complex than that. And yeah, it certainly shows. But the idea that it's trying to be Nier isn't one I agree with. Being inspired by something is different from attempting to rip it off wholesale. It would be like saying that Zombieland is just Shaun of the Dead but worse, or that Tomb Raider is just Uncharted, or SMT is Persona without the heart. Oh. The direction that these stories go are just not the same in many facets, and not for lack of trying. To call it a ripoff is not an accurate assessment. I wouldn't think Yoko Taro would be so approving of a story if that was the case. But then again, it's probably as simple as his love for women. You know what? Yeah, that checks out. Regardless of the truths they've come to realize, the plan hasn't changed. Eve needs to find one last Alpha Core to open up the nest and confront the Elder Naytiba. Whether it's in service of the initial goal is irrelevant. Now she just wants answers. Closer to the end than before, the group head out for the orbit elevator.
Eve, Adam, wait.
Huh? What's going on?
There's somewhere I'd like to visit before we leave.
Huh? Where?
Can we possibly make a stop at Eidos 9? Please?
That shouldn't be a problem. Can I ask why?
There's a workshop there, a place that I was hiding in. There's something I really want to bring with me.
All right. If you really need it, Lily.
Thank you.
Alright, the group make a pit stop to Eidos 9 for Lily before heading to the final core. Throughout the game, through actions like Lily assisting in side content or primarily when collecting archive information relating to Mother Spear and the history of Earth, a meter will fill up, and getting this to 100% enables access to a whole new area to explore before the final stretch of the game. And if players fail to fill the Lily Artemer, then this scene doesn't exist. Eidos 9 must be another Mother Spear-made city that's since collapsed under the Naytiba. Mother Spear really loves her long highways and multi-level parking towers. The city used to be safe from Naytibas due to being flooded before their evolution allowed them to adapt near water.
Lily, why did you choose to live hidden in a place like this?
This area used to be almost free of Naytibas. See, back then, they didn't like water. But I think they've evolved now.
At this point, it wouldn't be strange for Naytibas to live underwater.
What a difference 2 years make. And this forces the group to go the long way around to reach their destination, running along leveled rooftops, fallen overpasses, and through interiors that feel easy to lose yourself in. Eidos 9 is my favorite location in terms of aesthetics, and the track is carrying heavy here too. Eve clears the path for the Tetrapod by destroying aerial interception Naytiba, which I suppose explains how the airborne squad got blown the fuck out earlier, meets some old friends, and does some sick-ass sword surfing on a roller coaster. Sword surfing and rail grinding makes your games inherently better. I don't make the rules, I just abide by them. When that's done, they make it to Lily's Atelier, the place she's been residing in since the start of her expedition before she somehow got stuck in her pod in Eidos 7, which they still don't explain. I would assume Lily fixed her drop pod somehow to get to Eidos 9 once shit hit the fan there and landed in Eidos 7 a short time before Adam and Eve did. But that fails to explain how she didn't fix the damn door or how lucky it was she wasn't there long before becoming robo-paste. Can't win them all, I suppose.
Oh my goodness. It's full of plants and little birds.
Welcome to Lily's Atelier. This is my favourite green garden. Have a look around.
I've never been to such a beautiful place.
To think rare plants like these could grow in such a place. It feels different here.
I can see how much Lily cares about this place.
They take in the sights before Lily reveals what she came here for.
Actually, I wasn't alone here. I had a colleague who also survived.
I'm surprised you managed to survive for such a long time in a place like this, Lily.
Well, there used to be a reason for that. Colony's greatest hacker. And the comrade I cared most about.
Lily arrived here with Iris, who has since passed.
She fell asleep a year ago due to body cell damage.
And they were roommates. Probably.
This contains a deep algorithm hacking system, along with Iberis's memories. This is what she left for the world. Eve, thank you for coming here with me.
The pleasure is mine. I was happy to hear you speak from the bottom of your heart.
This is getting awkward. Let's quickly go to orbit.
After grabbing her memory stick, they head out for the orbit elevator and the final core.
So, are you saying that's where the Alpha Core is? Adam, are you listening to me?
Oh, sorry. I got a message from Xion. Something serious seems to have happened.
Unfortunately for Adam, he left the oven on at the safe house and now has to head back to assess the damage.
I have to return to Xion.
We'll see you at the nest.
Okay, I'll go on alone. If I were to go back to Xion now, there's no way to know how things will change.
Eve.
Drop me off, then head back to Xion. It's fine. I can do this alone.
Wait. You could leave the drone operation to me. Adam can take the hoverbike back to Xion while I operate. A perfect plan, right?
Lily, not just anyone is able to operate drones. You need a wide field of view, the ability to make smart decisions fast, and
the stabilizer, scanner, and link sensors do all the work for you.
How did you?
This shouldn't be odd for Adam, right? I mean, am I wrong? She has used a drone before, hasn't she?
I figured it all out while modifying the railgun. Went for some test drives too.
It still doesn't compare to the knowledge you gain from real experience.
No blade, just like in Altesse Lavoir.
Yep, no drone scanner either.
Lily, are you filling in for Adam?
Yeah, he's busy fixing the tetrapod again.
Ah, all right. I know I'm in safe hands with you, Lily.
Eve, did you see that?
The other side of the gate is crawling with Naytibas.
But this looks like the only way we can get inside. That battle was amazing! It's a shame Adam had to miss it.
Is Adam still outside?
Yeah, repairs are taking forever.
Eve, sorry for the wait. So, shall we head out?
Too late, we're already here.
Whatever. Eve and Lily hijack the tetrapod and leave Adam to scale the seas back to the city. And with that, they head towards the space station. A lot more Mecha Natiba than usual. Fucking turds, man. To get inside, they activate a transport system known as a hypertube to ride through. And I'm just going to say that from this point forward, Stellar Blade starts to feel more like Stellar Blade. Not that the events prior were aimless before or lacking identity, but the game seems more comfortable in doing its own thing. To the point where I'm just convinced that the latter third of the game was made first and Shift Up just worked backwards. Better late than never, I guess. Anyways.
What is that?
That can't be good for the back. What an entrance. I don't know what this thing's deal is, but it does look insane. And it's an angry boy.
So you better be careful.
Unfortunately, the coward retreats. But I hope it does come back. It cut off a damn good track, and we need to settle the score, damn it. The last stop before the station is the logistics center. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. This section in particular is ass. Pure ass. Like 95% ass. It's fucking awful. These turrets are consistently the worst enemy in this game. It won't stop me from thinking highly of this game overall, but I was pretty damn close to considering otherwise. But from this point forward, there's no more bullshit. Escaping pure distilled torture, Eve enters the relative comfort of the Space Center, named after Mother Spear's creator. Raphael Mark seems to be the driving force of the world's more fantastical experiments and technology found throughout, and his Space Center looks to have amassed a large amount of Natiba contamination. On their way up, they get ambushed by Belial, looking to get its lick back.
It just seemed different than the ones fused with machines.
Was it?
I felt emotions, strong ones. Maybe more than I've ever felt.
Emotions?
The emotions. They weren't ordinary. Hatred. It'll come back again. Was it waiting for it?
Its pure spite allows it to regenerate its arm too. You know what? I respect it. Its health bar is significantly lower than other bosses, but it makes up for it by persisting off being too angry to die, making it more of a battle of attrition.
I have an idea. I'll try overcharging the rails.
It's quick and it hits hard, but it is among the easier fights of the game, and it doesn't take long before Belial falls.
Lily!
I didn't think it was going to be this powerful. My arm, it feels strange.
The body cell is overloaded. The drone is unstable as well.
Will I be able to overcharge again?
Maybe once or twice, but no more.
Okay, I'll have to save it.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
They end up on a passenger lift assisted by a robot named Arissa.
Welcome home, Master.
Who's that?
Welcome back to Orca Aerospace. I am your humble maid, Arissa. I am the guide for the VIP room.
I find this interesting because she seems to be an early version of Android Eidos that Raphael or Mother Spear created. The contrast between how Arissa operates compared to even Lily is notable.
Looks like a maid-type human.
Was your name Arissa? Just how long do we have to wait?
All passenger transport is stopped until Code Red is lifted. If you wouldn't mind waiting inside the lift, the P-161 lift to the Prestige Lounge will be working again in just a moment. We're very sorry for any inconvenience this may have caused.
And even then, after getting crushed, Eve takes the time to pay respect to her.
It was an honor and a privilege to serve you. Farewell, Master. Arissa. Now ending. Silence.
The privilege was mine, Arissa. Rest now. Thank you.
Her more robotic nature doesn't make her any less human or deserving of a proper send-off. I like that. It's nice. They scale up to the Prestige lobby and run into yet another boss in Atiba.
Wow. The atmosphere here is so unique. And it's in pretty good shape. I think it should smell nice too.
Yeah, I smell flowers. But...
Something's fishy. Oh, come on. These are all fake. I guess even the VIPs couldn't see the real ones. Ah!
Lily! Lily? Do you hear me? Lily?
Targeting the drone first. They're getting smarter. You're definitely not ordinary.
Finally, it's just Eve. Now I can focus. Okay, you didn't see that. The Natiba here really are just a lot more grotesque, and this frayed amalgamation of wires and flesh is no exception. Katakuri will bombard with lasers and exploding minions while taking wild swings and pink petals fall. I'm really loving these boss arenas. They're incredibly varied and they look fantastic. The track here is a banger too.
Lily. Lily.
Oh, it's connected.
Oh, how unfortunate. You know, that's not fair. Lily isn't that bad. I'd rather have her on my side than a Holland or a Vess. But that's a conversation for another time. For now, Eve and Lily make it to the elevator and take in the view, accompanied by Everglow playing in the background.
Wow! It's amazing how blue Earth looks from space. But when you're down there, it's all grey or wasteland.
They really want you to soak it in. Not that I can blame them if I'm being honest. This feels like a victory lap, and you can tell there's nothing but love for this project. Finally, the pair get to the central core to confront the Alpha. And good lord, what an Alpha it is.
Did we make it?
We did. But there's a strong electromagnetic field surrounding this place. It feels just like the eye of a hurricane.
The Natiba I defeated just now used a human as a host. No, that's not quite right. It'd be more accurate to say humans.
Seriously? I never knew they could combine with multiple people. Maybe that's why it felt like it was more intelligent than usual. Over there! My goodness!
What have you done to yourself? I see all that pain. I'll put an end to it.
Holy shit. It's like a mass of humans merged together to make this monstrosity, and that's not far off the mark either. Assuming this happened around the time of the final war, the group of Andro Eidos that were left to die channeled all of their frustration and sorrow of being left behind, merged with whatever human contamination was left to become the demo crawler. It's a suitably eerie design. The track that plays even reflects on the strong emotions of this creature in a beautifully haunting vocal performance. This is easily my favorite track out of the game that tells the story of the suffering felt from these androids abandoned by who they considered to be their leader, their god. Everything about this fight is nothing short of immaculate, and I can't possibly see how they top this.
There's no core.
Eve, behind you! Eve! Eve! Oh my! Over there!
That's...
Oh, now that's an alpha. Good lord. It attached itself to the orbit elevator in an effort to get to the colony, and it needs to be destroyed to get to its core.
So just how many orbit elevators were there on Earth?
Before the war, there were a total of 4 orbit elevators.
Then what about the rest?
This is the only one left. The other 3 were destroyed during the war. Thanks to this, the colony was able to continue transporting supplies for quite some time.
That was a relief. But it could have been saved for the Alpha.
We can't just leave the Alpha Natiba here.
And so Eve makes a decision.
Lily, use all my body cell power to overcharge the railgun.
What? But there's no way you'll survive!
It's okay. This is what I was born to do. Lily, please!
This is all too much for me!
With drone in hand, she uses the energy from her body cell to charge the railgun and delivers a fatal blow to the Demogorgon.
Your body cell! It's empty!
I defeated it, but I can't get to the core. I'm so sorry.
Unfortunately for Eve, her sacrifice didn't yield a core. In the end, she couldn't accomplish what she set out to do. But at least her last act was a selfless one. If that is the last Alpha, then Eve did something good for the people who remain on Earth and those who stay in the colony. There's not much more you can do when your body cell is depleted, like we have seen a few times already. It's the end of the road. And what a hell of a way to go out.
It's a signal from the colony. Please hang in there. I sent out an SOS to the colony. Please, somebody. Anybody, we need help!
Lily, you seem quiet. Are you thinking about the colony?
Oh, how'd you know that? I thought of something while looking through the map data. Once you exit the atmosphere, it's possible you'll be able to connect to the colony network.
It doesn't hurt to try. Lily, have you tried connecting to the colony network?
I'm still not picking up a signal. It's like there's some kind of invisible barrier between this place and the colony. It's highly likely that the Alpha Naytiba at the top is responsible for this.
Yeah. I'll bet that's why communications from Earth to the colony were impossible. Meaning, if we could get rid of it, we'd save ourselves a lot of trouble.
Conveniently, the destruction of the Alpha restored a signal to the colony to drop down an Anthem mech that secures Eve and brings her back down to Earth safely.
Thank you, Lily.
And I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, they have said that the body cell is essential for these android Eidos. If it depletes, they can't come back. It's why the cradle exists, to preserve those on low energy and prevent mass death. Like Iberus and those before her, if your body cell's drained, it's game over. Making a noble sacrifice to circumvent it at the last second is quickly becoming a trope I'm starting to loathe entirely. Especially if that action betrays established rules. I'm writing you up, don't do it again. Thanks. Also, the track playing in the background is very similar to the track that plays in Lily's Altair. I assume the thread that connects these two would have to do with Lily potentially losing another friend. Roommate. It's a coin toss. As Eve recovers, Lily mentions that she hasn't been able to get a hold of Adam.
Can't even reach him through the emergency communication line. What do you think happened?
I wonder if something happened to him in Xion.
And so they travel back to Xion to see what's going on.
My goodness.
And now Xion's on fire. What the hell's happening now?
Lily, is this what Adam was talking about? We have to go down.
Eve, I'm sensing an alpha signal coming from the presence chamber.
Awful. He could be...
I'll try to do something here with the exosuit.
Fearing the worst, Eve rushes to the presence chamber and confirms her worries.
Come at me, you monster! I have failed. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Not dude! Bro, man, that's it. Oh man, not man.
You killed Taki. And now, destroying Xion. Why? What is all of this for?
Eve, you're late to the party. How does it feel to be responsible for the fall of Xion?
can speak.
In spite of everything, I do wonder why he chose you instead of me. I've already proven this much, but why?
He? What are you talking about?
You're a little on the slow side. I won't let you anywhere near him. There will be nothing left of you when I'm finished.
And with that, Eve is face to face with Hook Hands to settle the score. And I'm gonna say, Hook Hands is just one smug avian asshole. Her move pool is probably the largest out of all these bosses. Multiple combo attacks stringed together with irregular timing. Grabs, casting Death Stranding Muck to obscure her next move or stagger you from underneath. They even introduced a fucking instant kill desperation move mechanic at the last stretch of the game because of course she has that too. It's just a matter of watching what old Hook Hands does since her telegraphs are actually pretty easy to tell apart from one another. And if you feel comfortable enough, she leaves herself open during specific strings to be interrupted out of her combos. She rarely does the same thing twice in a row from what I've seen, and fucking hell did I see a lot. Over, and over, and over, and over.
We call this a difficulty tweak.
Only the start of the fight starts the same since she won't attack you until you decide to get close and then she repositions herself. It's a tough but fair fight and Shift Up seasoned it to near perfection.
A human?
That face, it's familiar.
Wait. Raven? From the Legacies.
I'm sorry? Did a naked Raven just plop out of Hook Hands like a newborn? She's just been wielding this fursuit all natural? Oh, I know it smells crazy in there. But also, Eve did yank a core from Headless, right? Wouldn't that mean Raven is fucked? Or is that really exclusive to the skin suit? Leaves me just a tad confused on how these alpha cores actually work. Unless they really are just two independent entities, but that can't be true. Man, I just said that there weren't any contradictions. Counting my chickens a little too early. Fuck. Raven in the buff makes her escape and leaves a mess in her wake.
Seems as though I've been exposed.
And Man uses his last 10 seconds of screen time to urge Eve to Oracle.
Go to Oracle, not me. By that hyperdrive.
Oracle!
You've arrived just in time.
Oracle, your body?
This is who I really am.
Oracle reveals that he fought on the side of Skynet until the colony extinction and was ultimately saved by humans underground to become the first Alpha. Xion was his chance at redemption and to make amends, even if some people didn't see it that way.
Not human. The first ever fusion between an Andro Eidos and an Nitiba. I am the first of the Alpha Nitibas. I tried to conceal my identity for as long as I possibly could, but Raven had to be stopped. Have you collected all the Alpha cores?
Yes, except for one.
We lost it. Out in space.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for giving my life purpose. At last, 4 cores are here together.
He gives up his own core to Eve in order to wait a goddamn minute. Oracle is an Alpha Naytiba, right? And that means he has a core. So wouldn't that mean he gets found out the moment he opens his Google Maps? Your next core will be found in Matrix 11. Interesting. There's another core sighting here as well. It looks like it's here, in Xion. Hang on a second. Oracle's method to search isn't perfect. It could be a malfunction. So he's fucked. Ah, but maybe Oracle filtered his location out from the search results. But Lily created a device that resonates with alpha cores.
This here is an alpha signal meter. This device uses the subtle resonance from the alpha core to pinpoint its location. It can't reach a super long distance, but you'll find it useful once you head over to the location Oracle told you about.
A device that would have no doubt alerted her to the presence of a core in the very city she finalized its functionality.
Eve, I'm sensing an alpha signal coming from the presence chamber.
And if Eve discovered that Oracle was the source before finding all of those legacies, then, well...
Here's your ticket to paradise, old man.
So yeah, fucked. Anyways, Oracle gives his core to Eve, and with that, the Master Core is assembled. Unfortunately, Oracle doesn't have a fursuit, so his life is forfeit. Back up in Xion, the damage is laid bare. And honestly, aside from a few signs and burning dumpsters, it's not too dissimilar to how the city looked before. Before Eve takes off, everyone in town prepares to send her off.
Everyone, I'm sorry I couldn't do more to help. I'm so sorry.
Nonsense, Angel. It's only because of you and Lily that we're still alive. Thank you.
Don't worry about Xion. We can rebuild it better than ever.
Everyone, thank you.
And those you have helped in the side content will be up front and center for last words.
I'm helping restore the city. It's one of my specialties. I've heard that an angel is planning to attack the Elder Naytiba. I expect it will be a very dangerous mission. I would like to offer my assistance. I can give you a special discount.
Thank you, Digger. I will do my best.
Everything's ruined. This place my sister loved.
I'm sorry. If only I hadn't been so late.
It's alright. At least I still have my memories of her. We're going to get through this together. That's what Mother's Sphere... No, that's what my sister would want.
Kaya.
Angel, please. You mustn't lose your strength now. Once that thing is killed, everyone can live in peace again, right? Then I'll try to help to the best of my ability. All I ask is you give us hope.
Okay, thank you. I'll try my best not to let you down.
May your memories live on. Forever.
May your memories live on. Forever.
We've lost the memories of so many. The Prophet, the Sentinels, civilians. I've lost count.
The city, it's completely in ruins. What are we supposed to do now?
I'm sorry. I could have saved more people.
Word is that the Prophet has called on you to carry out your destiny. I'm not sure what his intentions are, but if the Elder Naytiba is dealt with, we might have a chance to really build something, even from these ashes. Beyond fate, right? I wish you luck.
Eve, all that I can do is sing. And I will sing for you, Eve.
Thank you. I'm not sure that I deserve to be treated like this.
Unless you didn't do that. Then it's just Kaya. And you know what? That's something. She's still a huge angel simp, but there's no close relationship since you didn't get her questline done. But there is one last thing that needs doing. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you, Clyde. Her actions at the orbit elevator even get a remark here.
Angel, did you see it?
See what?
That was quite a scene. The sky was falling. Oh, right. You were in the middle of the chaos. Of course you couldn't see it. Anyway, that's not the point. A lot of debris sank onto water when the orbit elevator collapsed. Who knows? You might find something useful.
You know what? Fuck Adam. We've got enough time in the world to fish.
Gotta admit, you're good.
Really? I didn't think you would say that. I suppose there's something more to it, given that you brought it up.
Yes. Didn't I tell you before? I'm gonna give you the fisherman's dream. You can think of it as my ultimate tool.
The ultimate tool? Is it a rare fishing rod? Or a special reel? Do you have access to sonar technology?
You should expect good things.
This...
I got it ages ago. I knew it was a nanosuit from the tag, but it's not something I can use. Angel, this is something I think you should wear.
Wait. This... Hey! This is the fisherman's dream. Your ultimate tool.
The look on your face. I've stupefied the angel. If this isn't the ultimate tool, I don't know what is.
Just be glad I didn't cut you in half for this. Understand?
There. Now we're ready. Eve and Lily track down Adam's hoverbike, conveniently around the same location as the nest, and Lily gets to try out the mech from the colony.
Lily, are you really going to go with me?
I just want to help in any way I can. Especially after all you've done for me, Eve.
Even though we might encounter the Elder?
That'll be even better. This exosuit, it's really something.
You know, seeing her in a combat role might get interesting, especially if she's fighting alongside Eve. Can't wait to see it. Before that happens, there's one last legacy to listen to, reaffirming that Mother Spear did in fact cause the orbit rings to fall and send Earth into ruin.
The rebellion started by Mother Sphere grew into a war in which mankind paid a terrible price. The humans that remained eventually evolved into the Naytibas and made their way to the colony, to Mother Sphere. To prevent the colony's contamination, Mother Sphere destroyed the orbit ring, and with it 30 of its space modules. The remnants of the orbit ring fell to the ground, causing a catastrophic wave that swept the Earth. Civilization as we know it came to an end. Look around you, a planet where only Naytibas remain. Remember, at the beginning and the end of the final war is Mother Sphere. Do not forget, we were just pawns on a twisted chessboard.
And while Lily still rejects this information, Eve is more hesitant to do so.
That's impossible. Raven is delusional. It's the Naytibas' fault that Earth is in ruins. We're not just machines someone created. Right? Eve, please, tell me I'm right.
And at the entrance to the nest, Raven appears. With clothes, too.
Raven.
Eve. I knew from the very beginning that all along I was nothing but a tool to guide you to him. Even the legacies I left behind became part of the plan. I should congratulate you for realizing the truth and making it this far.
Oh, and she's crazy.
Of course, you won't be able to see him.
Shut up! Don't you dare talk about truth after what you did to Taki!
Hey, not bad. Starting to get some emotion going. It only took basically all game, but hey, better late than never.
Can't you see? It was Mother Spear who deceived us. You would have remained ignorant if not for him. I served him for a very long time. I know him better than anyone. You don't know anything. You don't know his pain, his anger, his agony.
If I got this right, Raven essentially reveals that after recording her legacies, she worked with Adam to bait Eve to him, leaving those records behind as a means to convince Eve of Mother Spear's lies. But because Adam cucked Raven in favor of a different woman, she went just a little kooky, even going so far as to shish kebab Eve out of jealousy, only to be stopped by spicy Taki. 5 years of being a mere stepping stone for the next woman might make a lonely, disenfranchised android crash out beyond reason. It doesn't matter though. Lily and Eve are about to kick ass and take revenge.
All this talk of you being the chosen one, it ends here.
Lily, I want you to stay back this time.
Oh, never mind. Better luck next time.
This is my battle.
Damn, listen to that track. The instrumental especially gives off a frantic and erratic energy, which is fitting for Raven. Be prepared to parry. A lot. This fight is one big parry check. You can also dodge and interrupt, but come on, where's the fun in that? Her attacks come out fast and there's almost no downtime. Panicking does no good here either, so get used to timing blocks and dodges because you will be here a while. And once she's worn down enough, Eve takes her down in a particularly brutal fashion.
You did it, Eve. Well done. Why are you hesitating? Because we were comrades? Or because I'm human like you? Except you don't believe we're human.
Your mainframe's nerve fibers and exospine have all been severed. So now, you won't be able to fight. You've taken so much from me. In exchange, I'll allow you to witness the end. In that state.
What? What do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? You don't know anything. Kill me. Go ahead and kill me. I wouldn't be your first.
Lily, let's go.
Eve! Stop right there! Finish this! Eve! Eve!
Damn, Eve. That's fucked up.
You want to see some more? I want to see a lot more.
With Raven paralyzed, nothing can stop Eve from entering the nest and getting to the bottom of everything. Through the birthing place of the Naytiba.
It looks like This is where all the Naytibas are born.
Although everything looks so natural, it makes me wonder, is this how real life is born after all?
Into its center where the Elder awaits. Anyone want to take a guess as to who it could possibly be at this point?
Eve. I've been waiting.
It's like I thought. It was you.
Adam. Why is it Adam here?
Come on, Lily. Keep up. Adam is Raphael, and Raphael is the Elder Naytiba, the creator of Mother Spear and the first of the Naytiba. Raphael Marx strove for innovation above all else, and when he made Mother Spear, it was the next step in enriching humanity. Unfortunately for him, his creation strove for more and was driven to achieve new heights in humanity, to replace the humans that came before in favor of the new, better humans of Eidos. Although in Adam's version of events, it was the humans themselves that started the war, too afraid of accepting the other humans.
Right from the start, we struggled to coexist. Of course we did. Because we Naytibas were weak. We were not yet mature enough to fully accept your kind. This foolishness resulted in tragedy.
Either way, after the original humans were driven underground, it was Raphael who pushed to rapidly evolve humans to combat the threat above.
This looks like the place we saw earlier, the old research lab.
This looks more like a factory than a lab.
And despite the process being unstable, he chose to proceed. And the result?
I know this is a disappointment. I'm sorry, Eve. Everything that has happened until now, and even before, it began with me. I am the source of it all.
He used Mother Spear's attempt at evasion to put his plan into action, find a survivor from the wreckage and lead them toward the same truth that Raven discovered. It would certainly sound better coming from another Airborne Squad member than a complete stranger. Although he did try to reveal as much at the Giga site for some reason. But let's be honest, it was for the foreshadowing that Adam was hiding something. That's what that served to accomplish. But if what's come from Raven is convincing enough, it makes the next steps easier to consider.
You think you're the one to end this gruesome slaughter?
Yes. I've been researching for decades to find a way. A way for us all to become the inheritors of the human race. An Andro Eidos, with the most advanced unicinous hyperbody ever seen. And the ultimate Naytiba that has not succumbed to its hostile instincts. These are the two necessary ingredients.
According to Adam, he waited for the right Android Eidos to come across, to merge with himself and create a being that is both android and Naytiba, stable enough to retain their humanity and keep both races going. To save the humans of old, this is the only solution. And with that, Eve has a choice to make. Side with Adam and become the progenitor of a new human race.
Let us become whole. One being. A single, evolved human species. If we fuse together, we can truly become the seeds of a new human race.
Or stand with Lily and take down the Elder, exactly as the mission was described with no deviation.
That's insane! There's no point in listening to this, Eve!
But this is not the path that humans should take.
But there's no proof that this fusion is the right path to take.
Especially considering everything you've done.
Either choice made will result in 2 or 3 unique endings. And when one is chosen, it's locked in into New Game Plus, where another ending can be chosen. Bit annoying, but it is what it is. With everything that has happened on Eve's journey, I can see why she would pick one or the other, and I'm going to make the case for both. On one hand, Eve does feel bad for the humans turned Naytiba. As the legacies were found, she became increasingly sympathetic and therefore less trusting of Mother Spear's intent. To fuse with Adam would end the conflict without anyone else getting hurt, and technically speaking, it does complete her mission. The Elder would disappear and the rest of the Naytiba with him.
Eve, your mission is to eliminate me. If you fuse with me, the Elder Naytiba as you know it will cease to exist. Forever. Is there any better way to complete your mission?
And Adam seems sincere enough. He seems to want to mend bridges with the remaining Androidos.
I want atonement. I want forgiveness. I want us to heal.
For both ends to live and prosper proper. And if his words are true, then no one has to go extinct.
As you've discovered, you were created by the surviving humans to look and act like them. And us, we're nothing but monsters.
Android Eidos are created, not born. With the merge is a chance to keep life going. Although they can live for a long time, it doesn't matter if their body cells deplete. He wants to save Xion in his own way, and it can't all be a lie, right? On the other hand, why would Eve agree with Adam's ploy? From the beginning, his intentions were hidden.
Why did you save me?
I'm not really sure.
Liar! His chance encounter and rescue were planned. To gain good grace and befriend Eve, coordinating with Oracle and using Xion as a means to guide her to each legacy, and send her right back to him with a distorted look on what she knew before. He did use her to serve his own ends as well as Raven, who is also the creation of Mother Spear. There's no reason why she couldn't be what he needed to save humanity. But after Adam decided that achievement should go to Eve, she went insane, leading to the death of Taki and the rampage at Xion. So much unnecessary hurt and bloodshed, which Eve sounds appropriately upset by.
Adam. Or would you prefer I call you Elder? What are you scheming? You pretended to rescue me. Pretended to help me on my mission. All under the guise of helping Xion. What are you really after?
Please know that everything I have done sincerely.
Enough of this nonsense! My comrades, the people of Xion who trusted you, tell me why they had to die!
And you know, I just gotta say, where was all of this hiding for 85% of the game? It's great. It's a shame it wasn't present before. And it's increasingly hilarious that Adam, the only organic human, is the driest of the entire cast. If there's one thing he is consistent in, it's that same monotone delivery. Mostly. In either choice, Xion can be saved as Adam gives the last hypercell to Lily.
My wish to save the new humans and surviving humans is sincere. As unbelievable as it may be. Lily, take this.
But this is...
This is the last hypercell needed to rebuild Xion. Xion can be saved no matter what choice Eve makes. It would mean so much if you could do this for me.
That would restore the cradle and save those still in slumber. It lends more credence to taking his hand, as he's given up potential leverage to ensure that no matter what... Hang on. Then again, you did abandon the group under the guise of heading to Xion, but decided to pose in the nest with your shirt off instead. You seem to know something was actually happening there.
Oh, sorry. I got a message from Xion. Something serious seems to have happened. I have to return to Xion.
Xion is...
Lily. Is this what Adam was talking about?
Did you not even make an effort to stop Raven? It makes you look like a complete dick who left the people you claim to care about to die without so much as an attempt to save them. In either case, the Elder will be, for all intents and purposes, gone. It's only a matter of how Eve chooses to go forward.
Eve. Take my hand. I can save you. We can save each other. We can save everyone.
Sorry. I can't accept this.
Eve.
No matter how much blood has stained Mother Sphere's hands, and no matter how heavy your burden is to save the surviving humans, I don't want to be controlled by those things anymore. I want to make my own decisions, as nobody else but myself. All decisions. Even the decision to bring you down.
All right. This is also very like you. I understand, Eve. However, I still have things worth protecting. Eve, I wish you well.
Adam, Eve isn't alone this time.
Lily, please, stay out of this.
You wish. What?
Holy shit. Let her fight! That mech is fucking useless, isn't it? The only purpose it served is being literal plot armor.
Adam.
Well, it's Adam versus Eve in this ending. And what I like is that Adam is the only boss unwilling to fight at first. No matter what, Adam will not lay a hand on Eve. The most he'll do is push her away. And in a way, he's giving her another chance to reconsider.
That's the kind of mistake you can't make twice. That's the kind of mistake you can't make twice. The truth doesn't need to be kind, only true. But the truth doesn't need to be kind, only true. This is not the path you should take. Carrying on this way can only bring darkness.
Was that a callback to a previous line in a new context done right? It almost feels like he's not just warning Eve, but reminding himself. Even with its dialogue, this game is beating Forspoken down with a fucking arm stub.
It's working! It's my turn now!
There we go. Time to fuck him up, Lily.
All we need is for you to disappear! Go away! Go!
Lily. Lily, I am sorry.
Ah, that's just something you can do now. Also, fucking lol.
Lily! Hide!
Eve, you truly are a wonder. I must shed my humanity and become a monster.
Damn, this is beautiful.
So now it really begins.
But now the real fight begins. The Elder will constantly jump in and out of the field, and he hits pretty goddamn hard. This fight tests every combat mechanic that was previously presented, mixing blinks and repulses, combos and dodges, and visual awareness. There's no range at which he won't screw you over, chucking spears and casting sigils and shit, rushing in with swings and dive bombs, a bit in both columns to spice things up. It's a very tough fight, arguably the toughest one because he's going all out, an angel fighting an angel, and the music is absolutely transcendent. By the way, he also has an insta-kill move. That's fun. With Adam's death, the Naytibas die out, and the age of the humans as they once were is over.
Adam, I'm sorry.
Eve. With this, the history of humans is over. Your will, your actions, your decisions. I just hope that everyone is guided in the right direction.
Adam.
Damn, even his skeleton's stripped out.
Goodbye.
The nest collapses.
Eve! The nest!
And then Mother Spear makes her appearance.
A starry night. Reading the future is like mapping out the night sky. And sometimes you catch a glimpse of a shooting star.
While she seems to lament Adam's death, there's no doubt this was her desired outcome.
I fully respect your decision, Eve, even if it is a bittersweet one.
Is it finally over?
Yes, it is, Eve and Lily. It is time to go home.
And so she brings down transport to bring Eve and Lily back up to the colony.
But we still have things to do.
First, let's pay Mother Sphere a visit. We have a few questions for her, remember?
I can see the colony. Oh, but...
I'm not sure what this means. It reads as if they're planning to completely terraform the Earth, which probably shouldn't come as a shock to them.
At this rate, Mother Sphere will do the same thing over and over again. I wouldn't be surprised if she even destroyed the colony, and thereby Earth. As you know, she will not stop.
There is an unspoken truth you don't dare acknowledge. Do you think you're just going to complete your mission and head back to the colony? A hero? Unfortunately, you've learned too much. You can't be manipulated anymore. And the information you've gained is no use to Mother Sphere or the colony. You will be discarded just like they were during the colony extinction. Like trash!
Maybe Lily is finally realizing Mother Sphere isn't all that great after all. Also, was this not present the last time they were out in space? If so, they moved pretty damn quickly. And that's ending 1. The Elder's dead, humanity's fucked, and Xion seems to be heading toward the same fate. So you know. Whoops. The ending line reads, "Their journey to find the truth continues." Eve chooses to prioritize the union of humanity above everything else and pushes to merge with Adam, much to Lily's dismay.
Eve! No! You can't fall for this!
The purpose of our existence is to eliminate the Elder Naytiba and save mankind. Naytiba, or Andro Eidos, is one more human than the other? If an entire species is wiped out so that another may remain, can we really call that salvation?
Regardless of how she feels, helping both species is what she feels is the best path forward.
If there is a way to save both species, I want to follow that path to the end. That's all I want.
Yes. So do I. Your choice may not bring about peace and stability right away, but our union will create the greatest chance for a peaceful future. Now.
Yes.
So she and Adam commit to the scandalous act of touching tips. Conveniently, Adam is nowhere to be found. His consciousness and his appearance have disappeared, leaving Eve with a cool new look.
Eve? Are you Eve?
Well, it's hard to describe, but...
It's Eve in body and mind with the Elder's power. Although I was hoping for a grotesque amalgamation, but that's alright.
I was worried that you would become someone I didn't know.
Lily...
Connection to the colony complete. Sending protocol.
This goddamn mech has been nothing but trouble, holy shit. Not once does it do anything useful, and when Lily gets to lock in for once, it gets shit canned out of literal existence. And what's the deal with it now deciding to reign control, considering it was traveling through a whole nest of Naytiba signatures?
It must be because the Elder disappeared.
I would assume it's a matter of the network reconnecting back down to Earth, but it sounds more like an excuse than a legitimate reason. It is a cool looking mech, but still.
Sensing strong Naytiba signals nearby. Switching to combat mode.
The exosuit is moving by itself!
Unfortunately for Eve, Adam's gone, so she can't access that convenient ability to dissipate matter. Oh well. I guess its second primary purpose is to be a final boss, then.
This is a combat command sent from the colony! Ah! Eve! Watch out!
The only time the mech is unrestrained, and it's to kick my ass. Joy. It's the worst of all worlds, fast, heavy, missiles galore, and the ability to turn Eve into mush in 2 or 3 hits. And of course, it wouldn't be a final boss without the ability to ruin your whole career with an insta-kill. I like the design, the moves are cool, even if some of them are bullshit to me, but it is the toughest fight I've had in this game. Getting this mech down low enough was a struggle to say the least. I had the most trouble recognizing its attack patterns, but I can admit it's more of a skill issue for the most part. Salt still flows in these wounds yet to close. What I like about the Providence theme is that it actually shares a motif with lilies as well. Once Eve manages to get Providence on the ropes is where this particular ending diverges.
Eve! I found a way!
If Eidos 9 was explored for maxing out Lily's meter, Lily will free herself from the mech using Iberus' hack ex machina.
There's a hacking code on Iberus' memory stick!
Lily! Hide yourself!
And once freed, Eve doesn't need to hold back.
Lily, are you all right?
Eve! I thought I'd be left alone.
It should have been me! It's not fair!
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still not used to the new look. Still, I'll get used to it one day, right?
Yes, Lily. I'm sure you will.
Too many things happened today.
Yes. And even more awaits us.
Once they're outside, Round Mom drops down to deliver more cryptic phrases.
A starry night. Starlight. Twinkling, reflecting on satellites. Predicting the future. It's like trying to find one single star in the endless sky. For the sake of Father, I refuse to give up.
She believes she serves the future of mankind and gives Eve one last task to see if she's capable of carrying out the future she chose.
The one who gave birth to me, taught me, the one who's no more. Yes, I must confirm if you are, in fact, that future. You have more than met my expectations. The final decision was a bit disappointing, yes. But thank you.
What are you talking about?
This concludes the Eve Protocol.
Oh no! There's too many Eve!
Lily, stay back. So this is your plan. Then I'll gladly play my part. Now, come, my comrades.
This ending is definitely framed as the best one, with a proper after-credits epilogue. Returning to Xion, restoring power to the city, and looking towards a brighter future for humanity. With the ending line reading, "Their journey continues on." The ending here plays largely the same as the last one, with the obvious difference being what happens if Lily's meter isn't maxed out and the crew don't go to Eidos 9. When Providence begins to overload, Lily can't get out of the mech.
I can't control it, Eve!
Which is kind of funny to me because the game so subtly informs the player that if only they maxed out the meter, she wouldn't be in there now.
If only I had Iberis's hacking code!
But in there she is, and so...
Unauthorized access detected. Eliminated.
Lily!
Eve has no choice but to take it down with Lily in it.
Mother Sphere. You've been watching everything. From the beginning.
With a more somber take on the previous track. The rest of the ending is a lot more somber, in fact.
Lily! Lily!
It's done. Let's go back. It's over.
You know, I prefer the old Eve. But I don't want to become one with Mother Sphere. Lily!
With Eve taking an aggressive stance with Mother Sphere.
A starry night. Predicting the future is like reaching for the stars themselves. Darkness everywhere, guided only by a distant light. And what that light may be, I wish I could tell you. That being said, I will always serve the future. Even if the future does not align with what is expected.
Mother Sphere?
The final decision was a bit disappointing, yes, but... still, I thank you.
Enough of this nonsense!
This now concludes the Eve Protocol.
You can't just spit out words and end things like this!
What are you here for? To worship me? Kill yourself!
So this is your plan? Then I'll gladly play my part. I swear, we'll meet again. Ah, God.
The ending line reads, "Her journey does not end." In the endings where Eve merges with Adam, Matriarch Orb seems to note that she isn't sure of what the future holds, obviously meaning that killing Adam was a part of her plan. But either way it ends, Eve seems to meet her expectations according to what she calls the Eve Protocol, which makes me wonder, are all of these Airborne Squad members Eves in a sense? Mumsy Ball seems to operate under a throw everything against the wall mentality. Build an army to combat Naytiba, send them down to Earth without guidance, and observe who's strong enough to do what needs doing, to pave the way for her ambitions. I would think you would still try and make a better effort to protect the pods carrying your super soldiers, but you know, that's just me. The Protocol and Spear's intentions are left ambiguous, and all of these endings are open-ended. They could take a potential sequel anywhere that they wanted, so I'm interested in seeing where it goes. And with that, that's the end of Stellar Blade. After finishing an ending, New Game Plus becomes available, allowing most collectibles, currency, and abilities to be carried over. Alternate palettes of costumes can be found, and a New Game Plus file gives immediate access to Raven's suit. Beta abilities now have additional modifiers that can be unlocked with SP, and there's a boss challenge mode that's available for players who just want to revisit all the fights throughout the game, either with a current save loadout or a base level loadout for the skin suit enjoyers. And that's pretty much it. Aside from a new photo mode, I don't think I'm missing anything that important. Stellar Blade is a game I'm conflicted on. The combat is great, the environments look good, the bosses are fantastic, the world feels realized and consistent, and the score is phenomenal. But the story and the characters that live in that world? Not as much. And it's not that the story is terrible, that the characters are awful, it's basic and flat. And basic isn't bad, it can be effective. The issue is that it fails to invoke the intended investment it was going for. Many elements can be exceptional, but the weak points will drag down an otherwise competent product. Again, execution matters, and it matters a lot when it comes to the overall experience. And there's no better example in this game than the protagonist Eve. Eve starts out as a soldier for the Airborne Squad. She was created solely to do what Mother Spear has asked, to take out Naytiba. Presumably all she knows is to fight because that's all she needs to know. And because of that, her knowledge outside of combat is limited to say the least. She's not socially unaware with the relationship she has with Taki and by extension the rest of her squad in the colony. So talking to and helping out others isn't an alien concept. Her first time on Earth invites an opportunity to learn more about what's around her, both in the current setting and what was present before. She will help out those in need just for it being the right thing to do. And when she fights well, being adept with a variety of weapons and in a lot of situations. When it comes down to it, she will put her life on the line for the sake of her mission and the people who depend on her. And that's often to a fault, pushing onward in spite of exertion. And all of that sounds great on paper. It even works well occasionally in action. But the issue with Eve's character is that, more often than not, those characteristics are never expanded upon or looked at in greater detail. Until the last stretch of the game, Eve is around almost absent-mindedly, enough to be seen but not enough to feel a presence. I like Eve, and no, it's not because of her chest. It sweetens the pot, sure, but I value character writing more when evaluating media, and so I like the idea of Eve, not so much the realization. But the chance for her to stand out is there, when she's questioning what she knows about Mother Spear and her intentions, her condemnation of Adam for lying to her for his own ends, and her drive to be free, to push back against being manipulated on both sides. All of that is great, and the performance at those points are the best that Eve sounds throughout the game. She has the opportunity to be more fleshed out and well realized, but as it stands, it's a mixed first impression. And the same goes for the other two in the main cast. Adam is the last human on Earth. His actions as Raphael Marx paved the way for Cataclysm, creating the beings that would ravage the planet. Mother Spear and the birth of Naytiba. He searches for a solution to the problem he made, spending 72 years attempting to atone with Oracle and the people of Xion. And his general isolation left him jaded, with his mission to save humanity coming above all else, manipulating the ones around him to achieve the desired outcome, bringing its own unintended consequences. And even if his relationships are genuine, it's all in service of one goal. Lily is another member of the Airborne Squad, same as Eve, deployed 2 years prior to the events of the game. Despite her own assumed experiences on Earth and with the Naytiba, she still displays a sense of optimism. Unlike Eve, she places a lot of blind faith in Mother Spear, refusing to believe her capable of the atrocities that Raven reveals all the way until the end. She's somewhat bratty and pushy towards Adam, which often causes them to butt heads. She's the heart of the group, highlighted further by the game's endings, leading to the revival of Xion or fueling Eve's path of vengeance. Again, great on paper, but they don't get fleshed out enough to bring those traits out. And because these characters are more subdued than they're not, the impact from those revelations don't hit as hard, if at all. Story and character go hand in hand. The premise informs the characters, and the characters from that point impact the quality of the story. If the character writing is not at its best, the story suffers, no matter how solid it is. And if the story has major flaws, then the characters will be negatively affected as well. Eve is very much a character in the sense that she has traits, morals, and values that are fairly consistent. And when defining a character, you have to take into account not only who they are, but the actions they take and what they don't. And from what it's worth, Eve isn't a bad character. There were just opportunities to make her better that weren't taken. Eve is consistent but mostly flat, which is disappointing. Compare that to Frey of Forspoken fame, where she often takes action or inaction that doesn't align with the character they built up for the sake of advancing the plot in a specific way. The story requires her to want to be a hero, but Frey is placed on a reluctant arc, heavily pushing against that very notion right up until the end, where she suddenly decides that's how she made decisions, despite plenty of evidence to the contrary. And that becomes jarring to witness, knowing that particular payoff wasn't earned, and that's frustrating. You can say Frey is a dynamic character, lashing out, showing empathy to some specific characters, experiencing moral quandaries, but she's also inconsistent. Her values change on a whim to serve the story, and that in turn damages it a lot further. In fact, there's a video on that game on this channel. You should check it out, I think.
Fuck you!
While I have a few gripes about Stellar Blade's story and Eve herself, I enjoy both overall, because there are moments where it earns its payoffs, particularly in the last stretch. From Eidos 9 in the Space Center to the Nest, Stellar Blade finally finds its footing. The scenery, the scale, the score, it's all present, working together wonderfully, and it almost feels like this had the most focus and development. The peaks get high enough to where the valleys are incredibly noticeable. I just hope that whatever Shift Up does work on next, that they improve in the character department, because they have something good to build on. It's clear that they care about the world that they created. Or who knows, maybe it can get much worse. If they keep the passion that they have for this IP, I think they can create something quite stellar. Yeah, I'll show myself out.